We are backstage with Paul Metsa as the band tunes up downstairs. Thank you for joining us, Paul.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be in Duluth. It's one of my favorite cities in America. My mother and father met here, so I feel very close to the city.
So the show that we're going to watch tonight is your original band, Cats Under the Stars, or one of the original
Yes,
bands.
it was probably the one of my bands that really had the most acclaim. I had a handful of bands before it, but we started playing as Hot Walleye in about 1973. Three of us, we had a banjo player named Skip Nelmark, and then we did our first gig as Cats Under the Stars under that name, August 17th, 1975, at Alcott Park in Virginia, where we just played a few weeks ago.
So what's it like to play with musicians you've known for 40 years?
Well, it's really like getting back into a pair of really comfortable shoes that have aged. You know? But we've always had this really rhythmic connection with one another. And Tim O'Keefe, the harmonica player, the guy that I started playing with, is Metsa and O'Keefe, the only Finnish Irish blues duo on the coffee house circuit in the mid-'70s. He's really the virtuoso in the band. And then Jack Pasternak, the guitar player, he and I have known each other since 5th grade. So it goes beyond trust, really, at this point. We just feel it. And like Bob Marley says, he who feels it knows it.
Having this kind of experience, would you do it all again? Or what did you,
Oh, yeah.
what did you learn from 40 years of performing that you bring back to this group tonight?
Well, it's like life. You know, you can go back and go, would I have done certain things differently? Yeah, absolutely, But what's really fun for me with Cats Under the Stars is that, these are some of my longest musical relationships I've ever had with anybody. We played for 10 years, we took about 10 or 15 years off, and we started playing together in the early aughts, 2001, 2002, once or twice a year. So to get back together, everybody has gotten better. So really the band was a pretty damn good band in its time. But, truthfully, on these last few gigs we've been playing, I think we sound as good as we've ever sounded. And that's what's really exciting.
Do you think you'll continue to do these reunions, or is this a
Oh
special
yeah, no,
40th?
it's we're marking it because it is the 40th year, and there's very few bands, that have been together for 40 years, all original members, that are all still playing fairly well and in fairly good health. You can talk to my doctor more about that, but. No, we plan on doing this, until the final curtain, as they say. So there's no reason why we couldn't do this for another 20 years.
Okay. Last question is advice for anyone else coming up behind you. What if you're a 20-year-old thinking, is there really a life for me in music?
It's really gotten harder. When we grew up, we were blessed. We used to do 150, 200 nights a year just in the Twin Cities, primarily Minneapolis, not even St. Paul. St. Paul was always a disaster for us for some reason. But we were able to make a living. Of course, this was 30-some years ago, and rent was cheaper, food was cheaper, gas was cheaper. But really, I would tell any musician to listen to as much music as possible, stay with it. It wouldn't hurt to pick up, some sort of a day job that you can live with, and then envelop yourself into the music scene, turn it into a career when the light turns green.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm
Can't wait
honored
for the
to be
show
a part of it.
Oh, thanks, Karen.